Hi you guys, welcome to my channel Wholesale to Million. My name is Khang, where I share with you guys everything I've learned about wholesaling houses, how you can actually go out there and tie a piece of property up under contract at a discount price, and now you're able and legally can assign that contract over to another buyer that is willing to pay more for it and make a large profit. Alright you guys, and you don't need your own cash because you're not going to buy it. Okay, you're not going to buy the property. You don't need good credit because you're not going to get a loan on it. You don't need any construction background because you're not going to fix it and flip it. Alright you guys, but what you do need is you need to learn the skill set, which I'm going to share and teach you guys in my channel. The skill set of how you be able to go out there and find and locate motivated seller, which means seller that is needing and willing to sell to you at a discount price. Okay, now you got to learn how to talk to them, negotiate with them, and tie that piece of property up under contract at a discounted price, and learn how to go out there and find that cash buyers that is willing to pay more for it and assign the contract over to them for a large profit, and you can make a really good living doing this. All right, and what's one thing I love about wholesaling is you don't have to risk any of your own cash. All right, and you don't need a boatload of money to get started either. All right you guys, now for this video I want to share with you guys is what is virtual wholesaling. All right, and is virtual wholesaling, is it is it true? Is it possible? Can I do it? All right, you guys. So some of you may have know what virtual wholesaling is. Okay. So basically wholesaling, so the normal wholesaling is that you go out there, you negotiate, you meet up with the seller, you go through the property, you do the walkthrough on the property, so you talk to the seller and you negotiate on the spot, and you get that that property up under contract with the seller at the time that you meet up with the seller. All right. And then after that, you send it out to your buyers. You might have to meet up with your buyers to walk them through the house, so they can go ahead and do their inspections and things like that. So that way you can tie that, so you can assign that contract over to that buyer. All right. Now, virtual wholesaling is basically you're able to, whether you do it in your area or you do it in another state. But basically virtual wholesaling is that you don't need to physically be there. You're able to tie the deal up under contract without ever seeing the seller, without ever seeing the property, and now you're able to assign that contract over to the end buyer, which is the buyer that's willing to pay more for it. Okay, you are now able to assign that contract over to that buyers without ever seeing that buyer either. Okay, so basically virtual wholesaling is you're able to do it remotely. So it doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to physically be there meeting up with the seller or see the property, but you're able to lock it up, get it under contract, and be able to assign the contract over to the end buyers without ever physically being there, negotiating or seeing the property or meeting up with the buyers. All right, so you're able to do that remotely, whether it's in your area or whether it's in another market, but you don't have to physically be there. All right, so that is what virtual wholesaling is. And that's what pretty much what we do now is we don't ever go out to meet up with the seller. We don't need to see the property, and we don't see the buyers. All right, so we don't meet up with the seller to negotiate the deal and get that property up under contract. We're able to do it just by over the phone. All right, we're able to do it over the phone. We're able to tie that property up under contract with the seller over the phone. We're able to now assign that contract to the end buyer over the phone. And everything's done through the title company, and all we do is once that thing closes, then we just go and pick up our checks. All right, you guys. So that's pretty much what virtual wholesaling. And if you can master virtual wholesaling, if you can master that in your area, or maybe you guys are already trying to do it in another states, if you can master virtual wholesaling, you can pretty much do it in any states. All right, you guys, because you don't have to physically be there. So you can pretty much do it, if you're wholesaling in your area and you can take a vacation, you can be somewhere else and you can still be able to wholesale at home in your area, all right, in your backyard. So that's pretty much what virtual wholesaling is. Now, when I first started out, like I was sharing with you, I actually went through the whole fix and flip phase, all right? And when I did my first wholesale deal, I actually went out there, met with the seller, negotiated with them, tie that property up on contract, meet with the buyer, show them the property, and things like that, all right? And then eventually we started to merge, and then I started to learn and looking into virtual wholesaling, learning from other people, and now pretty much all we're doing is virtually, where we don't see the seller. We don't need to go out there and walk through the property. We're able to negotiate and tie property up under contract just by over the phone. And the key to that, you guys, and the key to doing virtual wholesaling is you gotta be able to master of being on the phone, okay? You gotta master being on the phone with the seller, all right? You gotta know how to talk to them, handle the objections, giving the seller the confidence, that peace of mind, okay, knowing that once they do a deal with you, it's going to be a hassle-free sale. You're going to, that the property is sold. All right, you guys. So you got to be able to master the phone, know how to talk to seller, know how to handle their objections. All right, because a lot of times, most of the seller, a lot of times they'll be like, well, you know what, you haven't even seen my house yet. You haven't seen the property. You haven't seen my house. How do you know what to offer? We don't know who you are, so things like that. So you got to be able to handle it, take control of the phone call, know how to talk to them, handle the exceptions, handle the objections, and tie them up under contract just by giving the security, that peace of mind, knowing that, this is what we do. We don't need to go out there physically to see the property. Once we agree to a price, you agree to sell us the property, and we agree to buy it. Then after that, then we'll send someone out to verify, making sure all the information is correct. All right, you guys. So knowing how to come back and talk to the seller and handle the objections, so that way you can send them the purchase and sale agreement through an email, and they'll sign it and send it back to you. All right, you guys. That's pretty much all we do now. So I can be anywhere, and I'll still be able to wholesale in my local area. Right now, we're taking up 3 counties in my area, and we don't go out and we don't see the property. We don't see the seller. We don't meet up with the buyer. We got 3 virtual assistant right now that picks up all of our phone call. All right, so all of the incoming calls I used to. So when we send out our marketing, I used to answer all the calls. Filter through which seller is motivated, willing to sell it to you, and are motivated to be able to sell it to you at a discount price. And that was a pain. When we send out a ton of marketing, you got a tons of calls coming in. So it's a pain. Okay, but right now we got about 3 assistant that is actually helping me filter all the calls, and then if the deal sounds good, the seller's motivated, then they set up an appointment for me. Then I'll call back to make the initial offer on the property and tie that property up under contract. We send it to them to an email. They sign it. They send it back to us. We take that now that purchase and sale contract. We send it into our title company. All right, to get escrow open up. And then typically, we'll send in our earnest money. Once we got the purchase sale agreement, then we'll send it in our earnest money with that. Sometimes we don't need to. It really depends on the seller. Some sellers will be like, well, you got to give me proof. Show me proof of the earnest money that's being deposited. And there are sellers where they are okay with it. They just know that once this agreement is signed, the property is technically, you have control over it, and they trust you to follow through and to do exactly what you said you're going to do. And that is the key, to know how to be able to handle and talk to the seller over the phone. Okay, once you master that, you can handle their objections, giving them that security and that peace of mind, knowing that this is done, that you are legit, that you got this down, that you're not going to scam them, and that you're going to do everything you said that is agreed upon. The seller once they have that trust for you, they really don't ask for the earnest money to be deposit. Some sellers do, and which is fine, because the earnest money can be any amount. It could be, I've seen people put $1 down. We typically put $500 for the earnest money. It just looks more solid. But I've seen people, I have done a $10 earnest money down. So $10, I've seen people do it just $1. So anyways, But that is, you know, I don't want to go off topic here, but that's pretty much what virtual wholesaling is. It's being able to, you don't have to physically be there to get the deal done. You can pretty much be anywhere and you can still close the transaction between you and the seller and then you and the end buyer without ever physically being there, meeting up with them, period. All right, you guys? But yes, virtual wholesaling is real, is true, and you can actually do it. All right, you guys? And like I said, it's all about being good on the phone and learn how to master being on the phone, talking to the seller, handle the objections, and know how to come back to the seller and being able to handle those call and take those phone call in control. All right, you guys? Very, very important if you want to be able to virtual wholesale. All right, you guys? So anyways, that's it. That's all I want to share. You know, I'm sure some of you know what virtual wholesaling is. For those of you who don't, that's pretty much what it is. All right, you guys? And trust me, it is true, and yes, you can do it virtually without ever physically meeting up or seeing the property. All right? It just takes some skill sets that you have to learn to be able to do it. But yes, it is possible. And once you do it, oh gosh, you're gonna love it, and I promise you, you won't want to do anything else beside that. All right, you guys? So anyways, thank you so much to everyone that have subscribed to my channel. I truly appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. And as always, if you guys like my video, hit that thumbs up. If you guys haven't subscribed, please do. And also too is let me know where you're at, what you need help with. Drop me a comment. You know, the best way for me to be able to help you guys, because I really truly do, and I want to help you guys, get you guys going on in the right directions. All right, get you guys moving in the right path and not getting distracted with other stuff. Stay focused, stay laser focused on your goals. Know what you need to do so you can go out there and crush it in your market. All right, and you can make a lot of money wholesaling. All right, you guys, thank you so much for your time. I'll see you next time. Take care.